A credit repair company, what they're doing is they're trying to fix your identity by stating in 3 different ways. I'm going to tell you the 3 different ways. They're stating in 3 different ways, I didn't use it, that's not mine, it was fraud, the month and payments are all wrong, you can't verify it, delete it. You've got 15 days, you've got 30 days to remove it. So that's basically what they're saying.
All right, well, the name of the game in credit repair when it comes to this question is you need to create discrepancy in the information of your credit report. So that's it. The short answer for this whole video is you need to create a discrepancy. Snitches get stitches. Snitches need to be shut off, and once the snitches get shut off, now the bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, they cannot verify, at least on paper, they cannot verify that old information that belonged to you. So the name of the game in credit repair is to create discrepancy, is to create a new identity in the eyes of the bureaus. Once the eyes of the bureaus cannot verify the old information, now you have an increase in your score. But there's a but. Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are not the bosses. The bosses are the CFPB, because the CFPB is considered like the father, the bully, the mother. There are other rumors that say, which I believe this is true. It's not just theory or rumor, that the CFPB is the actual bureau. And so Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, they're just a facade. And it's all money. It's all money, money, money. It's dirty money everywhere. But the real bureau is the CFPB, and the CFPB, they cannot legally say we are the bureau, because it doesn't make sense. There's too many people. This is why they put those 3, and those 3 are underneath the wing of the CFPB. So when you send a letter to dispute that the information on your credit report of a credit card, of an inquiry, a credit consultation, an inquiry, of a late payment, of a charged off account, of a collection account, of a credit card that was used with fraud, via fraud, you send that to the bureaus, to the 3 bureaus, but you upload that same letter to the CFPB. So the CFPB will apply pressure to the 3. That in theory, that's what they do. They apply pressure. But what they're really doing is they're saying, hey, you guys work for me, so you guys see if you can figure this out. And if you can't, we got to delete it because it's the law. Now, that's it. That's the name of credit repair. Now, when I mention the snitches are LexisNexis. These are other departments. There are other credit agencies, credit reporting agencies. It's not just Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Those 3 are the main 3. But then there's LexisNexis, there's Innovis, CoreLogic, EWS. There's Check System, right? There's SageStream. SageStream will hold your inquiries. So each of those departments, they all work in selling your information. So each of those 5 departments, LexisNexis, Innovis, CoreLogic, SageStream, Check System. Check System deals with fraud, right? You ever cashed in a fake check by mistake, or you did credit card fraud? You're in Check System. So they'll sell those 5 plus, because it's like 5, 7. Some people say there's 10, and so you have to freeze them. And the way to freeze them is you have to go to the website and click on, for example, on Google, LexisNexis opt out. And so by opting out as your right, as a human being in the United States of America, as a citizen of the USA, you have the right to opt out of these people, these departments, LexisNexis, SageStream, Check System, Innovis, CoreLogic, opt out. You have the right to opt out your information for it to not be sold to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Because Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are going to buy that data, whether it be correct, whether it be erroneous, whether it be good, right? Because sometimes you got good stuff. And so they'll, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, they'll buy that and then they'll sell it to the banks. But the owners of those three is the CFPB. So that's it. That's, if I could sum everything up, that's it. That's the game here, or the, I don't like to say the word game, but that's the system here. The system is, that's the playing ground. That's the playground, right? That's the playing ground. You've got on the left, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion with the CFPB as the father of the bully. You've got the snitches, which is, I just told you those 5 or 7, and you can Google them and check how many of there are, because there's a couple. And so when a credit, so now let me tell you what happens when a credit repair company, what does a credit repair company does for you? And I gotta tell you the truth, right? I gotta tell you the honest truth of what's going on. When a credit repair professional or a credit repair company comes in, now this is when they don't have a lawyer, where there's not an attorney on site. The credit repair agency is going to send letters to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, and it's supposed to upload those letters to the CFPB. So the CFPB can apply pressure, and boom, stuff is deleted. Now all of this happens first because you have frozen. Now all of this happens because first you have frozen all the other ones, right? The other departments I've already told you about. So now when a credit repair agency starts doing this, admittedly, and folks, everything I say, it's not financial advice, it's all from my perspective and my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a credit repair agency either. So everything that I say is from my opinion and my perspective. But what pretty much these folks are doing is they are building a new identity by blocking the old erroneous identity that you have. Because at the end of the day, folks, let's be real. You've got that credit card. You had that credit card, and you know you used it wrong. You know you used a $10,000 credit card or a $5,000 credit card, and you maxed it out. And the only reason why your credit score went down is because you either didn't pay on time, or you used the full credit card maxed, or you used it maxed and you never paid it. So you're maxed out on a credit card. And it's like you hire a credit repair agency to say, I didn't do it. I didn't use the credit card. That's what a credit repair agency does. Now, obviously it doesn't say that with those words. But if you're a kindergarten student, you just have your answer. You can go ahead and walk away from this video, because that is what a credit repair agency is going to do. A credit repair agency is going to create a new identity and say, all the credit cards that you used, you used the Forever 21, you went shopping on JCPenney, you went over to Macy's, you took a jewelry credit card off jewelry, you might have taken a Citibank, Chase, whatever it may be, you used the Wells Fargo, and so now what they're doing is they're pretty much saying, that's not me. It's not me, it's not me. So the first letter, so now you quote the law. 1681I verse E, anything that's on the credit report needs to be verified and needs to be accurate. If it's not accurate, remove it. Now that's the first round. Now that's the first month. In the credit repair world, they call it first round. So it's the first round or first month. But the Americans came up with a round thing. I think they should just call it a month, but whatever. Nobody cares about what Baruch thinks. In any case, so
The second month, you're sending a letter saying, and you're uploading to the CFPB, right? Now, the second month, you are sending a letter and you're saying, hey, what are your methods of verification? Why are you not responding? I told you this is not mine. Now you're sending that again. Now, here's the catch. You know you spend that. You know you use that credit card. Now, you know, admittedly, you didn't know that you needed to be, that each credit card that you get, admittedly, you didn't know that you needed to use that credit card no more than 30%. So if they gave you, if you had a $10,000 credit card, you were not supposed to go over the 30%. Admittedly, you didn't know that, right? Because you don't know finance. You only you see a credit card as a toy. Ooh, that looks shiny. Let me go buy it. Right? So a credit repair company, what they're doing is they're trying to fix your identity by stating in 3 different ways. I'm going to tell you the 3 different ways. They're stating in 3 different ways, I didn't use it. That's not mine. It was fraud. The month and payments are all wrong. You can't verify it. Delete it. You've got 15 days. You've got 30 days to remove it. So that's basically what they're saying. Now let me tell you the 3 different ways that a credit repair company, or you, right? Because you can do this for yourself. You don't need my affiliates. You don't need the people that I recommend to do credit optimization or credit repair. You don't need me. You don't need my company. You don't need any of my affiliates. You can do this by yourself. Now, admittedly, yes, it's gonna take you a long time to learn, because if you mess up, you lost 30 days. So if you did you know that if you send more than 1 or 2 letters, no, more than 2 letters per bureau, they can now legally extend themselves 45 to 60 days in their investigation, which are pretty much just, I mean, somebody that doesn't have an understanding of how, unfortunately, how the system is stacked against you will say, well, I mean, I've got 3 credit cards. I'm gonna send them a 16. I'm gonna send them the first letter, the second letter, the third letter, the fourth letter on the same month, and let them deal with it. And I'm gonna upload them to the CFPB. Wrong, because now you're showing red flags that a credit repair company is doing it for you. It is unethical for someone to charge you to fix their credit report. What is ethical is for someone to charge you for consulting you on how to fix it. Now, some people get consulted on and they may get helped on. Others get consulted on and they get charged for the time it takes to file those documents and let you know, listen, this is what you have to do. Because this is such a sensitive topic. We're talking about socials. We're talking about driver's license, your addresses. We're talking about your phone numbers. We're talking about, you know, sensitive information. And you know, there's stories about credit repair companies helping a person's credit score go up, and you know, it's delicate things like social, and the person the client not paying the credit repair company, and so because they don't pay the company, now the company comes and says, oh yeah, you're not gonna pay me? Now the company comes and uploads all the bad and negative stuff to the CFPB. See, so that's why the Americans ended up saying, you know what? We're gonna make this illegal. Like, you go to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, you cannot do this. The credit repair companies are illegal in Georgia, the state of Georgia in the United States. But people still do it. Why? Because it is a skill that you don't know how to do. Your car breaks down, you're not gonna call an English teacher. You're gonna call a mechanic, right? You need to travel 35,000 miles or 60,000 kilometers away. You need a pilot. You're not gonna go in car. What do you got? You gotta buy a ticket. You gotta invest on a pilot.
So repairing a score, it requires a skill, tactics. Now and techniques. So let me tell you the 3 different ways to finish this video. Let me tell you the 3 different ways that you can dispute, or you can learn, or you can hire somebody to help you. There's Metro 2. Now that's AI versus AI. It's very simple. Computer versus computer. It's AI long before AI was ever even talked about on the internet. So Metro 2 is a system. It's a computer. They call it the E-Oscar system. E for electronic and Oscar. Some people say that it's because they named it after the man who invented it. Others say that the O means something, the S, the CAR, they're abbreviations for something. But the E-Oscar system is Metro 2. What is Metro 2? It's a computer-based document that pulls your report, and now it's gonna point out via formulas, via the law, via numbers, via lots of data, and you're gonna print that out and send it over to the credit reporting agencies and upload it to the CFPB. That's number 1. Number 2 is consumer law. Consumer law is the law. You are a consumer, you are a person. The Americans came and said, well, a person is an entity, a person is a corporation. A corporation is actually a person, by the way. I teach that on other videos, go look at that. A person is an entity, a person is a corporation, a person is a consumer. Consumer law. So the law. So now you're quoting the law. You'll go through the law. Now you're not gonna use the law. I mean, you're not gonna read up all the books. Nobody got time for that. Nowadays you utilize AI. You tell the AI, listen, I got this on the credit report. What are some laws that can help me? We've got willful non-compliance. We've got 609s. We've got 6092 for debt collections. We've got 1681 IE, 1681 II, 1681. There's a couple. I don't know them off the top of my head. I utilize AI to tell them, listen, what do you think is better for this? And that's what you can do. Okay? Now, that's consumer law. The last way of disputing the negative data and trying to prove that you didn't utilize that credit card, which you know you did, is through, and there's some cases where there's actual fraud. I'm gonna tell you about fraud in the end, how to deal with fraud. But admittedly, before I get into that, let me just tell you. So the last one is called factual disputing. Factual disputing is something where back in the day, before the internet, before computers, people used to order the credit report via mail, and the mail will come, and a person would, a professional would come in with a piece of pen, right? A piece of pen and paper or pencil, would come and highlight. Well, this says November 11 on Experian, but this says November 15th on TransUnion. The fact is that this is wrong. So this demands for a reinvestigation. So that should be grounds for deletion. A credit card that was open on 2021 and has a late payment on Equifax, and Equifax is showing that it was, and you know that you opened it another date, and the bank says you opened it another, so it's facts. It's facts versus facts. Now, there is a software, there are many softwares out there, and this is why people charge for this, because nothing is free. The people that do credit repair, they usually utilize the software. And that software is, and I'm not affiliated with any of them, I'm not getting any money for talking about them. There's Dispute Panda, $17 every time you send a letter. There's Dispute Fox, they charge you like $200 a month all the way to $1,000 a month. There's Credit Fixer, They charge you $75 to $200 a month, all the way to $300 a month. There is Dispute Beast, right? And there is so many more out there, right? And so basically what they've done, these softwares, what they've done, and not all of them, because most of them are crap too. What do you recommend, Baru? Well, I recommend Dispute Panda, and I don't have an affiliate link, and if I do, then I'll try to find one so you can use a code. Why? Well, they have, first of all, they're cheap, all right? They're affordable. I don't like to use the word cheap. They're affordable. And they're affordable because they'll charge you $17 or $18, whatever it is, every time you send letters. So that their AI is gonna do Metro 2, consumer law, and factual disputing all together. And so you'll just print those out and send them. Now, every time you send a letter to the bureaus, you want to attach your 3 important primaries. I call them the primaries, but you want to, so you send a letter, right? You want to include your 3 primaries, which are driver's license, social, and proof of address. And so the reason why you want to do this is because if you don't include your 3 primaries, then the bureaus are going to be like, well, how do I know that Sergio Ramirez is actually sending this? How do I know it's not just a glitch? Or how do I know, not a glitch, but how do I know it's not a credit repair company? How can I take this person seriously? How can I verify their information if I don't know their social? And just because they put their social there, that don't mean nothing. So admittedly, when you send letters, that's what you're doing. Now, someone can say, well, I can fix my credit on my own. I don't need nobody. And sure, you can, but there are many things you need. Like, for instance, how are you going to upload a CFPB complaint? I have yet to find a tutorial on YouTube on how to do that. People don't share that because it costs. See, the name of the game, unfortunately, in United States of America, is if you're not sold, you're not told. So they won't tell you information for free because it costs them money, because it costs them to learn, because it costs their time. Now, let me talk to you about fraud. Now, I give a lot of secrets for free in these long videos, but it's just up to the person that's actually writing down, taking notes. You can consult with me, and I can redirect you to people that do it, and they'll charge you anything between $1,000 to $1,500 to $2,000, depending on how bad your stuff is. But the real secret behind why you want to fix it is because, you need to get money to do business. You don't do business to get money. And the only way to get money, get capital to do business is your credibility has to be correct. And now, $20,000 is a watch. $200,000 to some people is not even a watch, right? So pennies is 1,000. Pennies are thousands in the elite finance, right? 25 billion is. Did you know that 25 billion is considered a small cap in a C-Corp? Did you know that 25 billion is considered a small cap? Okay. Now, lastly, let me talk to you about FTC report and FTC affidavit, because there's 2 different ones. Now, this is all from my perspective. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a credit repair company. This is all from my perspective and my opinion. Anything you hear from PRB Capital or from Baruma Cliff is from my opinion. And anyone I bring over here. There's an FTC report and an FTC affidavit. Credit repair companies start doing FTC reports like there's no tomorrow, and they'll say, yeah, I'll charge you $1,500. I'll charge you $1,200. That means it's very low, by the way. $1,200, $1,500 is very low. And they'll file FTC reports on your behalf. And what an FTC report is an identity theft report, which it's pretty much saying, this credit card, I lost it somewhere, and my wallet was stolen. I did a complaint with the bank, and I'm just giving you a general example, right? I did a complaint with the bank, and that happened. And so the bank couldn't help me, and because the bank didn't help me, I'm filing this FTC report. And all those charges from the credit cards were not me, but were fraudulent. Other people do it, the FTC report. I never opened this. They just go straight up. I never opened it. Boom. Right? They didn't even come up with a story. I didn't open it. I didn't open it. What's the name and what's the date what's the date it was open, the account number, and the name of the credit card. So FTC report. There's an FTC affidavit. Now, an FTC affidavit, it's pretty much similar to the FTC report, but an FTC affidavit, you can Google it. Everything I say is from my perspective, my opinion. I do recommend and I consult people, but I suggest to some people that they can Google an FTC affidavit. Now, an FTC affidavit is very strong because some people that have been in the game, they say that it's a little stronger than an FTC report because it is you put in Google FTC affidavit downloadable PDF. So you want to download that PDF into your computer. Once you download the PDF into your computer, excuse me, you're gonna go ahead and go page 1, page 2, page 3, and you get a look at your credit report via Experian.com, make a free account, and you pay the $30 for you have to invest some money here, right? You pay the $30 here to see the real thing on Experian Equifax Commercial, and you take a look at the account, and you include the account in the FTC affidavit, and you write in the FTC affidavit, you write whatever you feel that is fraud, whatever you think, whatever you know that shouldn't be there. And of course, you gotta have a story. So you'll send that FTC affidavit, and all of this from my perspective, my opinion, and you'll send that FTC affidavit, and you'll send it to the Experian Equifax and TransUnion via certified mail. That's gonna cost you about $4.88. As I think in some other states, a certified mail receipt, which is the green and white with a tracking number. Don't be cheap. Don't do stamps. Okay? I think they call it first class in other states. Don't do stamps so everyone can understand me. Stop doing stamps. You want to invest the $14 or $15 or $17, whatever it's gonna be. 17 or 14 because Experian is gonna cost you $4 to $5. Equifax letter is gonna cost you another one, and then TransUnion another $4 to $5. Jesus Christ, why is everyone calling me today? All right, so you want to send that out, and once you send that certified mail, you're gonna upload it to the CFPB. Now, in the midst of all this, this is pretty much now. There's a little bit more steps to what goes behind the scenes, but these are the main roots of how a credit repair company acts. Now, in the midst of all this, the client thinks that you're just sitting down and doing nothing. And it sucks because some of them, they really know, you gotta give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes, okay? Okay, give me 2 minutes. You've got to really understand that what a credit repair company is doing, although they're charging you, they're building you a new identity. They're building and fixing your mistakes. And now this might sound rude and aggressive, but I happen to have grown up in not in sunflower seed world where I can hold my hand and sing kumbaya. I'm not a schmuck, so I gotta tell you the truth. I'll be transparent with you. In many cases where fraud doesn't exist, and if we're realistic, 99.9% that do credit repair, it's not fraud. And this is from my perspective and my opinion. Whoops, I said it. In any case, I'm not a financial advisor. In any case, you're building and fixing their score in a way that you're creating discrepancies on errors that they know they made. And so they got the audacity to get pissed off at you because, I mean, I paid, and I get it. I get it. It's money. It's money. They put a down payment of $300. They put a down payment of $500. Some of them you charge them $2,000 and they pay half up front. Others paid everything in full. And so I get it. It's money. I get it. But we should balance out. After you're watching this video because I want you to learn and understand the other side that you have not been told, is that credit repair agencies, even with attorneys, they're fixing stuff that you've messed up on, and they're charging you a small percentage fee with a small margin, okay, with a small margin, and some others with a big margin. I get it, and they're trying to fix your mistakes, and the worst thing you can do is, hey, when are you gonna fix this? I'm gonna pay you nothing. I want my money back. Folks, the bureaus are not dumb. The banks are not dumb. The CFPB they're not dumb. So from my perspective and my opinion, a story has to be crafted. Aside from a story being crafted, there are facts that need to be read. And the facts are, this month shouldn't be here. This account says closed, that it was closed on this date, but this other account says that it was open on November. But this other account, the same account on Equifax saying that it was open on December, but they're the same account number. Why is this like? So they're reading facts too. And on top of that, you're using consumer law, which again is the law, right? And it's a tedious, meticulous, irritating process fixing a person's credit. This is why people don't do it. This is why people get pissed off. We're speaking to a client right now, and I really made this video because not me, my affiliates, not me. My affiliates were fixing this guy's credit score for the past 7 months, and the guy started at a 415 on all three bureaus. The guy hadn't paid cars, credit cards, about 5 credit cards he never paid. Out of those 5 credit cards, 4 of them, out of the 5 credit cards, 4 of them were charge-offs, and 1 of them was in collection. And so basically a collection was taken off, two car like driving cars, stuff that he didn't pay was taken off, and people come with a big, and I get it, it's money and entitlement mindset, but again, they're giving you money so they can argue, well, I paid you money. I get it. But this is why it's very irritating to be in this game, in this system, in this business, in this skill, right? I was a contractor for the tri-state area for New York City for 2 decades in residential and commercial and construction. For commercial, in commercial buildings, I was only for a decade, and residential was 2 decades. And there's always something bad to it, right? I mean, you do an amazing job. You paint and you put the crown molding and the base molding. And I don't mean to get off track. I don't mean to do that. I apologize. But I'm trying to prove a point here. As a contractor that I was, and you do plaster and compound, and you do an amazing skim coat, and you put lots of detail to the drop ceiling that you're doing, and you're framing the wall correctly with the level, and you're using your $300 laser, and you're measuring everything with the sheetrocks, and you're cursing out your employees and telling them, hey man, the corner being the corner being, the metal corner being has to be exact, don't put too many screws on, and you get so stressed because you want it perfect. Now the client comes in and they say, there's a spot there. Are you gonna fix that? So it's the same thing in credit repair. You do so much stuff for the person. So one thing I can recommend to you folks You folks, let me tell you something. You know, now this is something I need to be transparent about. You know who you are. You know if you've messed up in your credit cards payments, if you have collections. So the best thing you can do is be patient. The best thing you can do is try and work on your communication skills. And I understand that it's money. Money is important, and you're entitled to an argument of I paid you. But that's it. That's all you're entitled to. Because you've made mistakes, and you're investing in someone to fix your past mistakes. Now, anyone that tells you that they can fix your past mistakes, in other words, a credit repair company or agency that tells you they can fix your stuff in 90 or 120 days, the majority of times they're doing illegal stuff, like filing FTC reports on your behalf that are not correct. And what happens is you'll get quick results for 6 months, 5 months, 3 months, and you're happy. Oh, yeah. Boom, it comes right back. Like they call that a reinsertion. So they reinsert your information. Now, when they reinsert your information, now you're pissed off at the agency or the company, and you say, well, what'd you do? Did you do something wrong? Well, you don't know what to say. And it's not that they didn't do nothing wrong. It's just the bureaus figured out that the story, that the facts, that the Metro 2 and the consumer, and they didn't pay attention to Metro 2 and consumer law. So they didn't pay attention to Metro 2 and consumer law. They just figured out that they skipped over the facts, and they said, we don't believe this story. And so now they put back that car from Capital One or that credit card from Bank of America, and now the client or you're pissed off saying, well, does he know what he's doing? Does she know what she's doing? I don't fix credit repair. I have affiliates that do it. I'm just a consultant. And so I need to make this video to establish a connection between future consulting meetings and future relationships with clients. Understand that the majority of time, unless it's actually fraud, even if it's actually fraud, it still takes time. I recommend, from my opinion and my perspective, an FTC affidavit. FTC reports they're too saturated. Everyone knew about it, and so everybody didn't. And so now your credit goes up 3 months. Then FTC report, they cannot verify the story. Boom, your credit score goes down because they reinsert you back that credit card account number. And so then you get paid. Oh, I wonder if they actually know what they're doing. I want my money, baby. Golly. Well, how about this? Another question. Can you guarantee me results? Well, can you guarantee me results? Can you guarantee me that the chair you're sitting on right now, or the phone that you're watching, or the computer that you're watching, is not gonna blow up? Can you guarantee me that? Can you guarantee me that this chair that I got is not gonna break? No, I can't. But what I can guarantee you is I'm gonna try my best not to break this chair as I hop back and forth and as I move and I go left and right. So what I can guarantee you is if you follow 99.9% of everything, of every advice and every account that any company asks you to do, like what? Like make an Experian account, make an Equifax account, make a TransUnion account, pay this membership here, pay that membership there, delete that membership there, kill that subscription here. You are creating a new identity from the past mistakes that you have. So if you cannot follow rules 99.9% of the time, you will not get success. If you can follow 99.9% of the recommendations and suggestions that my affiliates give you, you will see results. My name is Baruch and I am from PRB Capital. It has been a pleasure, and I hope I didn't come out as aggressive and ugly as some people would have me. But I turned out to grow up in South America and in the cold slum street and jungle of New York City. And I don't got time for schmucks. That was a joke, I'm just kidding. My name is Baruch McCliff. Thank you very much. I look forward to anyone that wants any consulting services. I really needed to make this video for you guys to understand the other side, behind the curtains of credit repair. Not just my affiliates, but credit repair companies around the states of the United States of America. I salute you and I greet you and I say bye to you in a military fashion, like in the Roman army, as an emperor would, as an imperator would.